There are many cities in the vast territory of America that were once full of people, bustling with activity and dreams. The streets were bustling with noise, business was busy, and there were stories of new possibilities around every corner. But over time, these cities were abandoned for various reasons. Today, they stand as silent witnesses to the past, broken houses, dusty streets, and memories of lost lives. Such cities are called ghost towns. That is, a city where people once lived, but for economic, natural, or social reasons everyone left. Many ghost towns in America were born during the gold rush of the 19th century. Thousands of people flocked to new areas in search of gold. In a very short time, populated cities were built. But when the gold or other resources ran out, the people also left, and the cities gradually turned into deserted ruins. One example of this is Bodie, a gold mining town in California. After the discovery of gold in 1876, about 10,000 people began to live here. But over time, as the gold reserves dwindled, people left the city. Today, Bodie is like a town stuck in time, where old houses still tell the stories of the past. Another terrible example is Centralia. In 1962, a coal mine caught fire, which is still burning underground. The fire caused the ground to crack, toxic gases began to be released, and the city became uninhabitable. Eventually, everyone was evacuated, and Centralia became a real ghost town. However, not all abandoned cities are completely deserted. Detroit is one such example. It was once the capital of the American auto industry. But due to the economic depression, unemployment, and the decline of the industry, many areas of the city were abandoned. Even today, parts of Detroit are called urban ghost towns. Nature has also caused the decline of many cities. Kennecott, Alaska, was once famous for its copper mines. When the mine ran out of copper in 1938, people left the city in almost a day. Today, the abandoned buildings, covered in snow, bear witness to a lost era. Catawba, Alabama, was the state's first capital. But repeated river floods ravaged the town, forcing residents to abandon it. Now, all that remains are broken brick walls and overgrown streets. Glen Rio, located along Route 66, was once an important rest stop for travelers. But after the new highway was built, its importance diminished. Businesses closed, people left, and the town stood still in the middle of the desert as if time had stopped there. Similarly, the town of Pitcher, Oklahoma, was once a prosperous mining town for lead and zinc. But long-term mining operations severely contaminated the soil and water. The government evacuated the entire area after the health risks increased. Rhyolite, Nevada, Thurmond, West Virginia, and Bannack, Montana all have similar histories. Somewhere the economy has collapsed, somewhere the importance of the city has been lost due to technological changes, and somewhere people have moved to new destinations as resources have run out. These cities are not just broken structures, they are living documents of history. They remind us that the prosperity built by humans is not always permanent. Sometimes resources run out, sometimes nature becomes hostile, and sometimes people's own decisions lead their homes to destruction. Today, these cities may no longer be inhabited by humans. But among the broken walls, empty windows, and silent streets, there are still stories of dreams, struggles, and lost lives of thousands of people. And this is why America's ghost towns are not just history, they are also a silent warning to the future. There may be no one there today, but echoes of the past still float in the air. And in that silence, a question is hidden: will our current cities one day become such a story? However, the stories of all abandoned cities in America are not limited to economics or natural disasters. Behind the decline of some cities is excessive greed, poor planning, and overconfidence about the future. When a city becomes dependent on a single industry or resource, the entire city falls into crisis if that resource is lost. Many ghost towns in America are examples of that reality. Once upon a time, the people of these cities believed that their prosperity would never end. New houses were being built, businesses were growing, schools, hospitals, and markets were being established. The surroundings were filled with the laughter of children, the busyness of workers, and the dreams of businessmen. But history has shown time and again that no economic success is permanent. Situations change over time, and if a city cannot adapt to those changes, it can also disappear. Today, many ghost towns have become tourist destinations. Thousands of people come to visit these abandoned cities. They try to imagine the past by looking at the broken houses, old shops, rusty machinery, and abandoned streets. Because these places are not just ruins, they are like a moment stuck in time. In some cities, old school buildings are still standing. In some places, there are churches, in some places, banks, and in some places, there are houses where furniture left many years ago is still lying. When you look at these scenes, it seems as if people have just left here. But in reality, decades have passed since that departure. At night, various mysterious stories are also heard surrounding these abandoned cities. Many locals claim that they have heard strange sounds or seen unusual things. Although most of these incidents have a scientific explanation, the name ghost town still stirs people's imagination. As a result, these places have become attractive to history lovers as well as mystery lovers. When new cities are being built in the current world, these abandoned cities also force us to think about the future. Could the cities that we see as symbols of development today also become deserted one day? Technological changes, climate crisis, economic recession, or population migration, these factors can also change the fate of future cities. Experts believe that economic development alone is not enough to sustain a city in the long term. There is a need for versatile employment, balance with the environment, and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. A city that ignores these issues may eventually face an uncertain future. The ghost towns of America are not just stories from the past. They are also a warning for the future. Every ruined building seems to say no success is permanent, and no city is beyond the possibility of collapse. Time, nature, and human decisions, the combined effect of these three forces determines the future of a city. Today, the streets of these cities are no longer crowded with people. There is no noise from shops or the impression of busy life. Yet they stand silently, witnessing history. And their silence should remind us, behind every achievement of civilization lies the possibility of change, and that change sometimes turns the existence of an entire city into a page of history.